All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tuesday 10X interview. For over 15 years, I've been interviewing some of the most successful, but more importantly than successful, some of the most valuable mortgage professionals in America that truly make a difference in the consumers they serve. Like, it's not just about helping people get loans, it's about helping people achieve financial freedom and build wealth with real estate. So today we have Kelly Zitlow. If there was a Hall of Fame in the mortgage industry, Kelly would be among the first to be in that Hall of Fame. What's up, Kelly?
Oh, please, seriously. I did not pay him just to say that.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
Dave,
but
how are you?
I am doing awesome. No, but you really are. I mean, the leadership you've brought around leveraging video to bring value to your local community. You've had one of the top YouTube channels in Scottsdale, Arizona. You then like built a YouTube channel, go national. You now have gone from being a top loan officer to a top branch manager to an executive at a large company where you're really helping hundreds of loan officers and hundreds of thousands of consumers make better decisions around mortgages. I mean, that's how I see you. Is that not accurate?
It's accurate. I appreciate that. But I would say, our relationship and surrounding myself with people like you, Dave, is what fuels me. It inspires me. It helps me be better in all the areas that I'm focused on. So thank you for your partnership. I mean, it's been like 20 years, which means I started when I was 12, right?
Yeah, no, we've had a couple really good decades of friendship and collective collaboration in the mortgage industry. So Kelly, first, before I start going down this, AI versus you and how technology can help you be a more valuable you to the people you
Yeah.
serve. First of all, just for anyone that's hearing you for the first time, because we are having new loan officers come in here all the time,
So.
just describe your model, a little bit about your practice, and then we'll get into some big picture industry stuff, and then we'll get into the topic at hand.
Yeah, happy to. So I have an origination business. I've been a loan originator for 28 years. When I started in the business, which I think this is relevant for today's talk, I really want to challenge everybody on today's call, realize that technology is going to change our world. It has changed my business, my reach, our reach, and tools like MortgageCoach and Trust Engine and the things that we use to be able to present better information to consumers and our referral partners is without a doubt one of the biggest things that has helped me explode my business over the years. So I have been very fortunate to serve thousands of homeowners and borrowers during that 28 years process. And I still have an origination team today. I also recently have taken on, well, not recently, I guess a couple of years ago, I just felt like there was more for me to do in this industry at this stage of my career in life. And I love bringing all the things that I kind of do and hear on the street back to our loan officers and our sales leaders and helping our company move forward. But it's really not just our company. I share and I have a YouTube channel that's focused on real estate agents and loan officers. Like, it's okay to swipe and adapt. Like, this is just one big world. And if we all are tuning in to the right people, because there's a lot of noise out there, then it helps elevate everybody. And so, Dave, I appreciate you. And I got to say, just a real quick plug. If you have not listened to Dave's interview with Tom Ferry, oh my God, make sure it gets in your calendar. Do it on the drive home. I just listened to it again this morning. The first time I listened to it, I was on a plane. I have so many notes, so many actionable items. From a leadership standpoint, we are pushing this out to all of our loan officers and all of our sales leaders today. In fact, to really just make sure that we're all on the same page. I mean, it was so valuable. I went back today. I have additional items of just, oh my gosh, action item, action item, action item. So it's a lot. This NAR settlement thing, guys, I'm so excited about it because it allows us to be better partners with our real estate agents in particular. Like, their worlds are rocked. Think about when we went through TRID. Think about just, we didn't know, we were thinking about, oh, this or that. We went down a path thinking this was what we had to do. And then things changed. And then how we had to evolve our businesses. They're in that same mode right now. And we have the opportunity to help guide them. One, because we've been through it. And two, we're coming at it from a different angle. We know the numbers. We can help them deal structure. If you're not leveraging Mortgage Coach to be able to do that, Dave walks through that video and gives you the 4 different options that you should be building out in Mortgage Coach. Boom. I'm sure the Palazzo script people yesterday talked about it, but it's okay. Just like dig in and get your bearings and man, go.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for calling that out. If you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link in show notes to that interview. It was spectacular. For everybody in Zoom, if you haven't watched it, watch it. We're only 400 subscriptions away from 25,000 subscriptions to the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. So forward this one out to realtors. There's a lot of value in this for real estate agents. Also, when I think of the interviews I've done over the past 30 days that are just must watch, if you haven't watched the one with Ken DeLeon, did you watch that one by any
I
chance,
haven't
Kelly?
seen that one.
Oh my God, he's the America's #1 buyer's agent.
Yes.
He's going to do over $1 billion in real estate this year. He's in Silicon Valley, but I mean, it was packed with gold. I think it was just a week before Ken. I think it was about 12 days ago. So we'll put a link to that below. And then, of course, we did Scriptopalooza yesterday. And now it was 3 hours, so it was a big listen, but there was a lot of gold in it.
So great.
So before I ask you a question about NAR, I want you to tell everybody your value proposition as a mortgage originator, because to me, it's a North Star that will kind of anchor a lot of what we talk about. Tell everybody, your unique value proposition,
Yeah. It's kind of cheesy, but it's been what it's been for so many years. And this has been the filter, which is we provide an honest, well-communicated, knowledge-based lending experience. That's it. That's what we do. And I've scaled that to leverage that in YouTube channels, to leverage that in coaching. But that's really at the heart of who I am as an originator. I'm passionate about education. That's been my lane since I started, and I've grown what that means and leveraged technology to do that. But that's what's in my heart.
So one, write down Kelly's, everyone, and then put yourself in the position of 2 people. One, a home buyer, and then 2, put yourself in the mind of a real estate agent. It's unique, it's valuable, and then come up with yours. Like, it is a time to get really clear on what is your unique value proposition, and is it truly create unique value for the consumer? Does it truly create unique value for the agent? So now, before we go into AI versus you, NAR settlement, like this is, what is it, the second business day since the changes have taken effect. What are you hearing from your agents? What's going on in Scottsdale, Arizona?
So many phone calls. I mean, agents are now kind of in that, oh my gosh, I'm writing a contract. How do I write it? This is the conversation. So we're getting a lot of incoming phone calls, which I welcome, we welcome. And I think, again, this is such an opportunity because they're looking to us for direction, for guidance as a resource, which means we have to be on our game. We have to be forward thinking. So another thing that we're doing here at Cornerstone is we're building out a NAR settlement team. And so that would include closers, underwriters, our production support teams, making sure that we're all having the same conversation. Because there's going to be things, Dave, that are going to come about that lenders aren't thinking about. First and foremost, when that purchase contract comes in, if we are not understanding the difference in buyer commission, what the seller's paying, if anything, and we're not accounting for that in the numbers, it's a fail. Because we all know this money's going to have to be sourced. So if the buyer thinks they're going into closing with 102,000, but in reality it's 120,000, we've got to know that. We've got to have better conversations. And this is something that, at least in Arizona, we've never been a party to. We've never had agent conversations. It's not even in our actual purchase contract that we receive. So us upping our game and just being thoughtful, that's a starting point of that loan officer journey of how we start to move through the NAR settlement.
Are you, a lot of people I've been interviewing have been using Mortgage Coach to deliver buyer agent commission options, where like column A is the agent pays, column B is you raise the price, whatever. They're showing 3 to 4 options so that the buyer, because we're hearing whether it's going to be true or not, we'll find out that a lot of buyers are making blind offers, not knowing what the seller's going to do. So is that a thing for you and your market?
100%. Not only in my market, but again, taking that, I'm building it out right now. I'll do the video on it and I'll push that back out to our loan officers so they can just swipe and adapt it. But absolutely, it helps the agents have better conversations. You know, I mean, Tom said it really well. Many of these agents that are employing high-level buyer agent discussions, they're increasing the amount that they're making only because now they're very tactical and they've got their value proposition lined up. And I love what he's doing. And again, just like I'm so pumped about, but you know, for a buyer's agent to really go in and be able to put dollars against the value, it's a no-brainer. Dollars against value. And that's what he's scripting. So, okay, great. Now we put them in a position to have some better conversations. But the reality is they're still going to need help, as is the buyer, on the numbers, which is where we come in, which is where Mortgage Coach comes in, and the strategies behind how we help them get paid, if you will. This is what is driving the phone calls today.
Yeah, that Ken DeLeon made a really good case, and he described in detail how he thinks he will actually hold margin, if not make more. And then he also really validated and described how he's doing open houses, where he thinks open houses are going to become the game. And he described how he is doing open houses, which is pretty next level, what Ken is doing in Silicon Valley. So do you also agree that open houses are going to become a battlefield for buyers?
Absolutely. And what's so exciting for lenders is that, you know, we've traditionally focused on buyer's agents. We have a whole nother population now of agents that we get to bring value to. We get to help them. We get to help guide through this thing. So, I mean, we have a whole new audience in my mind. So what's the strategy to be able to tap into that and bring enormous value and help them, whether it's with open houses, which again, Mortgage Coach has an open house tool built into it. If you're not using it, check it out. And there, you know, there's a variety of strategies to employ, but the fact that we have a whole new audience, I mean, that in itself excites me. And on that note, I mean, just something that we do, which is relevant, when we get that purchase contract in, we are going in and pulling the listing agents information. We want to know how many listings, how many listing closings they've had over the last 12 months. So whether that's with MTA or MMI or any other tool that you're using, we put that into our CRM so we know who we're talking to and whether they're running a team, et cetera. Like we have insight from day one in what will be a 30 or 45-day interview. So it's go time when that contract comes in, and we have listing agents that are doing volume. We're interested in understanding what are they doing, where are their gaps, where are the challenges, where can we bring help? And again, like I said, it's just untapped right now with regard to a whole new lane.
So two more things. So coaching note for everyone, if you did not write down whole new market, listing agents, what are you doing to bring value to listing agents, validated, you know, open house strategy. I want to remind folks in our YouTube channel, we now have an optimized open house playlist where we will be putting content that helps you optimize success with open houses. One last big picture thing before we get into it. We recently started a playlist called Optimize Refis, just because rates are starting to come down and we want to make sure that we're helping originators get ahead of the NAR settlement, although it's here now, so we might have to change that playlist. Optimize open houses and optimize refis. Is there anything that you and your team are doing to just be ready for the, you know, rates dropping and to serve your customers and optimize the opportunity for yourself?
Absolutely. We've got reports based on our database, obviously, people that are going to be in the position to take the most advantage of dropping rates. We're looking at everything, you know, so we've got systematic reports built out, loan to value, whether they have mortgage insurance, loan type, early payoff penalties. Obviously, these are things that we all need to be focused on.
Get ahead of.
Yeah, we are ready.
All right. And one last reminder, guys, the Trust Engine app that we have is just the ultimate in technology to speed to need, wherever a consumer has a need, whether that's a rate and term refi, whether that's cash out, whether that's a move up or move down, make sure you check that out. We'll have a link to learn more on that. So Kelly, let's transition to, we've kind of finished the first quarter of this game. So we're going into quarter number 2.
All right.
AI versus you, how to compete in an AI world. This was your headline, by the way. Why of all the things that we could have got on the
I
call today
know.
and talked about, why did you decide, like, Dave, this is the North Star today? What was your why?
I remember when I first had this idea about doing video. And so it was, 2011, 2012. And at that point, it wasn't a thing. It was just starting to, I was just starting to see some people doing it, but I just had this feeling that there would be a platform to be able to take my heart and passion for education and bring that to the real estate community and bring that to consumers. And I could do that effectively through video. So I just felt it. And it was hard and it was ugly. And I was very, very, very bad at it. But this thing was so loud in my soul that it kept saying, push through, push through, push through, push through. This is something, this is something, this is going to help people. I feel the same way about AI. Guys, it's noisy. It's just starting to percolate. And we have such a huge opportunity to understand it, use it, but not let it take over. And so my passion, Dave, right now, and I'm having lots of conversations, and I'm going to post in the chat. I just did this interview with Steve Valentine. He's a top real estate investor here in the Phoenix market, and how he's using it from a real estate standpoint. I mean, my head was just exploding. So this is just another lane and another way that we have to kind of embrace the technology, because this, the train already left the station. So now it's our job to understand it. But the bigger point here is, if people are not focused, if loan officers and real estate agents are not focused right now on what their personal brand is, how to build that personal brand, and how to differentiate themselves from an AI bot, now's the time. Because you have to be able to say, the Kelly AI bot that's going to go out and scrub all of my YouTube channels, anything I've ever done, it's going to be able to answer questions to consumers. It will. It's going to look like me. It's going to sound like me. It's out there. It's coming. But what it can't do, Dave, it can't be strategic in the moment. It can't listen to the story and tell stories. It can't do this dumb stuff that I do with my hands and my eyes. Well, maybe it will be able to, but to be able to react, to be able to hear it, take it in, be solution oriented. That is our brand. That is what we do in this business. And I talk to loan officers and have for years. I'm afraid to do video. Guys, get over it. Tell the story, tell your story, and lift your brand, because this is the time right now. In 3 years and 5 years, this conversation is going to be so different. Your advice, what you bring to real estate agents, what you bring to your builder partners, what you bring to consumers, now more than ever, you have to own it. So I am fired up about this, as you might be able to see.
I could not tell. By the way, guys, loved the reactions. Everybody was in the moment. I'm going to let Kelly know what you thought about her passion for this topic. I can tell this is going to be great. If you have questions, put those in chat. We will definitely have time to get to any questions that you guys bring. So I know you were interested, because I can't remember if it was a month ago or if it was 5 months ago. Time flies so fast, but you had just said, Dave, what's going on? And so I know you have been finding out what's going on. And so when I asked this question, I want you, I think almost now that this NAR settlement has come, there's a greater sense of partnership between mortgage and real estate. Like we're in housing together. I mean, and we always have been, but I think real estate agents have the memo now that, you know what, Your lender is more than just someone who pre-qualifies and closes a loan. You need your lender to get people super excited about buying a home. You
Yeah.
need your lender to do more than just close a loan on time and close smooth and sometimes pay you. Hopefully you need your lender so that you can get paid. So when I ask you this question, I want you to almost answer it like, what are you seeing out there
Okay.
for both lenders and real estate? But I almost want you to go like real estate and lenders. Like, what are you seeing out there?
With regard to,
AI, AI and you.
I see a huge opportunity to learn the future together. Because again, it's going to be uncomfortable. We don't know what we don't know. It's like much like getting into that YouTube space. I didn't know what I didn't know, but I have partners that walk through that journey with me. And there's just something special that happens when you're learning together and you're collaborating and you're helping them with their brand while they're helping you with your brand. So there are so many efficiency tools in AI today, and it's like I learn something new every day, and I'm creating more
So you're
efficiency in
using it every day.
process.
You're using it
Oh,
every day.
without a doubt. I mean,
Real,
without a
real,
doubt.
real quick, what's the checklist of the Kelly Zitlow? I use blank, blank, and blank.
Yeah.
Just net it out for us.
So right now I'm using Perplexity. Perplexity, in my opinion, is taking over Google when it comes to searching. The reason for that is it's going out to all various sites and it's pulling together and aggregating information. So love Perplexity. The second one is ChatGPT. That's more conversational. So ChatGPT, as Tom Ferry mentioned in the video interview that you did, he said, loan officers, take this information, take the transcription. It was the open house girl that he was referring to. Put it into ChatGPT and ask it, what are the top 3 value adds that loan officers can bring to real estate agents based on this information? Boom. I mean, think about just the efficiency in that. I can get strategies in 10 minutes. And again, I'm not saying swipe and adapt and it knows everything, but it gives me just that thought, those thought points, and then I can take it and create it from there. So from a time standpoint, it is without a doubt just so efficient. So I'm loving Perplexity. But I use both every single day.
So I just put a question in chat. Who else is using Perplexity? Would love to know how mainstream is that, or is that a Kelly Zitlow thing? I have a goal to use ChatGPT every day, which I do not achieve daily usage of it. But I mean, I'm using it at least 3 days a week. But would you agree, like everybody, like if you know it's coming, I agree with you. Uh, it's here, and I don't think, well, here's the deal. It is going to replace some loan officers because it is going to get smart enough where there is a more self-serve experience and there are steps of the human process that are being automated. But for the people that really have a great brand, have advice that truly matters, can connect on a human level and tell human level stories,
Yeah,
it's just going to make us more productive and we'll be able to do more with less. Agreed?
absolutely. Absolutely. And so here's a few things to know. Spend some time getting to know ChatGPT in particular. So I have the pro plan, and the cool thing is you can create prompts in ChatGPT that allows it to learn your voice. So once you spend some time with it, Dave, and you do these prompts and you kind of follow some of this very basic how to get started in it, it's now going to reply to you when you ask it things the way that Dave would say it, not the way Kelly would say it, and vice versa. So becoming friends with it is important, which means you have to know it, you have to understand it, you have to invest some time in learning it. But it is a game changer just from a time standpoint. So being able to take, an interview, which I see so many people on here, they're using their AI to be able to transcribe, then they're going to take that. Now, what are you going to do with it? They're going to take that, I would guess. They're going to pop it into ChatGPT. They're going to come away with the top 3 talking points that they can employ into conversations with loan officers or real estate agents. And they're going to be able to do that in 10 minutes. Whereas in the past, Dave, it would take hours, right? Hours to do the thought tracks, write it down, get the research, source it, all that kind of thing. So there's a lot of good things coming from AI. If I'm honest with you, the thing that I'm most concerned about is the ethics of replicating ourselves in these bots. And these bots are so advanced. I mean, there is technology that's moving so quickly, and I am not a tech expert. Please understand that. I'm a human relationship expert, if you will. Like, I've had thousands of conversations. My heart is about helping people and serving people. But from a true tech standpoint, did you know that right now I could have a bot on the screen, I could ask it a question, and it would be able to see me and my background and say, oh, Kelly, I love that green teal shirt or sweater. Where did you get it? I see a picture on your bookcase. Tell me more about what inspired that. Now it becomes interactive with the viewer. So on some level, I mean, it's not real. It's a bot. They have bots and they're training bots to go through life, the human journey. Everything from kids and relationships and all this kind of stuff. So they're better prepared to be able to launch this type of technology. Okay, so what that will look like, who knows? I don't know, but I know it's out there. And so I think, okay, well, what can't it do? What can it do? That's where our lane is. Where do we excel in these conversations? Where do we excel in the interviews that you're doing? You could plug this information into AI and it could spit it out, but it can't replicate a Jeremy Forcier with his whole approach and his personality and the ability to react and just be the authentic version of himself. It can't. Not at least now. So if we can have any control over this at all, I beg you, find your why and start telling the world about it. Start to build your personal brand as a mortgage advisor or real estate agent. Who are you? What sets you apart? What irritates you? What do you think people need to know? And really start to do that in a story format. Because we all know at the end of the day, stories are what connect us.
So,
But if you're somebody that's sitting home and you're just like, I'm afraid to do video, I understand. I was too. We got to put that aside. Get good at the hard.
yeah, the obstacle is the way, whatever
Yeah.
scares you most, but you'd be better off if you overcame it. That is the way. So I'm going to ask the audience a question because I want to know, everyone, how often are you using AI? I do not need to ask Kelly Zitlow how she would answer this because she's made it really clear. I would love to get a statistically valid response on this, everyone. So 70% of you voting is always my goal. So come on, like, hit a button. This is not some complicated question. How often are you using AI? Never?
Don't be
Monthly?
embarrassed.
Yeah, well,
You
and by
know,
the way, this is anonymous, so I don't know your names, who is checking what. And even if I did, I wouldn't call you out. So, all right, we're almost to 70%. So here, I'm going to end it. And here's the answer, Kelly. Tell me whether this is at all surprising to you. What are your thoughts? 70% of the people who are on Zoom answered the question. Well over 50%. Any thoughts on what you're seeing here, Kelly?
well, I think we have a huge opportunity to have more of these discussions. I think we have a huge opportunity to lean into AI and better understand how it can bring efficiency, not only to our origination process, to our client experience, but to our personal brands. So it excites me. This is a great starting point.
Well, one takeaway when I saw this, everyone, for the 17% that said never, everybody's in the game, so what was that? 83% of mortgage professionals are in the game. Now that was the headline to this, so maybe it's a little bit of a skewed sampling because if you're on this call, you knew the headline and everything, but more than 50% are in the game. probably 60-70% of mortgage and real estate professionals are playing the game. And then the 80-20 rule is a thing. It was a little less than 20% are playing the daily game. So for everyone else, it's like game is on, the majority are in the game, less than 20% are playing the game daily.
Yeah.
They're training, they're iterating, and they're gonna if you are not in this game and if you are not using it daily, or at least you have an aspiration to do it, there's a race and there's two paths to win. One is uphill. It's got boulders you got to jump over. The wind is blowing you in the face. And one of them is downhill. It's smooth sailing and there's wind at the back. And
Yeah.
if you're not in that 20%, you're choosing to run this race, not in the best path. So hopefully one takeaway for everyone, we're at halftime in this call, is get in the race. Start using it daily, or at least have an aspiration to do that.
And to that point, Dave, this is no different than any other skill that we've learned over the years. Remember when I first started Mortgage Coach? Well, first of all, you had to chase me around, 3 years just to get me to stop, pay attention, focus, learn. This is no different. And that's why I'm saying it's not just easy. It's easier, I think, because it's faster technology. But had I not taken the time to learn Mortgage Coach 15 years ago, my business would be materially different. I would be much more transactional, which is not who I am. It's not my mission statement. It's not who I am as a person. It's not who I am as an originator. So that surrendering to the learning process of just that one tech tool changed everything. Same thing with video. It'll be the same thing with AI. So I got to get good at it. I need to understand it. And I need to know, like most things with technology, it's going to, at a very quick pace, evolve. So, okay, but what does that mean for us? And so when I think about, how to leverage this personal brand, see, it seems like very wide. And if you guys, post your questions and comments, or if I'm not being specific enough, ask me. That's why I'm here. This isn't about me.
I want to do something, because I hear you getting into personal brand, and I'd like to do almost like a little 10-minute workshop with you on personal brand from a topic standpoint. And remember, guys, put questions. We've got, over 60 people live watching this. Those of you on Facebook watching it, we're going to have hopefully thousands watching this on our YouTube channel. And remember, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, so you get updated when we put new videos in it. So first of all, personal brand. What is a personal brand to Kelly Zitlow? How would you define a personal brand? Just let's do a little workshop on this.
Yeah. It's a great question. I think about it often, but my most recent thought about personal brand is, what do people say when I'm not in the room? Like, how do they define me? How do they define you? And a lot of how they define us is based on our actions. It's based on what we put out into social media. It's based on our conversations that we have with people daily. It's all of those things. So it comes together as one. This is why it's so important to kind of decide who you are. And then once you're clear on the who and the why, it gets easier to start to find ways to level up that brand. And so maybe video isn't your thing, but you're a really great writer. Then be the best writer. Pour into that scope. Bring value to the world through your thoughts in that format. If video is your thing and you just don't know it, learn it. But this brand, you can now Google yourself or go to Perplexity and put your name in. What comes up? It's going to reflect what the world sees. So again, what does the world see or think about you when you're not in that room?
So here's a next exercise. So I want you to describe, and if you could think of 4 words really quickly or phrases, and I'm going to ask you to go first. I'll play the game and go second. but I want everybody to almost think of a compass for yourself in your own brand. And I want you to think of some words that you hope people would say about you. You know, like I know Kelly is very thoughtful about her personal brand. I've known her for 2 decades. I've watched her. I'll tell you the 4 words I have in my mind after you tell me the 4 words that you've executed around. And then I want everybody, while we're going through this exercise, I want you to write 3 words or 4 words or 2 words. 4 is the best because I just love compasses. So everybody comes out of this with a personal brand compass. What are 4 words or phrases that you've been intentional about in terms of how you've built your personal brand?
Yeah. Empowerment, strategic. I have a servant heart. Like I'm so passionate just about bringing information and breaking down barriers. Like that education part of me, it is what keeps me going. I love that. And hope. Guys, the thing that's so cool about real estate cycles is it's always new. And there's always people that are going to win, and there's going to be people that are not winning. So to be able to bring hope, no matter what that cycle is, hope that rates are going to come down, hope that I can buy again if I lost my home in a foreclosure, hope to real estate agents that we're going to be able to navigate this on their behalf. I have a standing call with one of my longtime real estate partners, and we speak every 2 weeks. And I said, hey, Brett, tell me what can I do for you? What can I do for real estate agents right now in the midst of this NAR settlement? And his response was shocking, but not. He said, Kelly, we need hope. We need to be led. We need to see the light. Be that. That's who you are. I was like, okay. Now I do that through tactical information, through education, through here's a mortgage coach on how we're going to handle, the conversation about buyer's commissions. I use all these resources to do that. But in the end, those are the things that I would say I've built my personal brand around.
All right, guys. So here's the drill now, everyone. I'm going to list the words that came to my mind when I started thinking about what is Kelly Zitlow's brand. I know there's some of you on this call that you're seeing Kelly for the first time. Some of you have watched interviews with Kelly multiple times. I want you to start putting words in chat that when you think of Kelly and her brand, what are some words or phrases that come to mind? And I'll go first. I've always thought of educator, teacher, just educator. I've always thought of inspiring. Like you've just always been a very inspirational person. Total pro, like just
Thank you.
super polished, super pro, very intentional about what she does. Come on, audience, play the game. Can't believe we got 60 plus people on here. Empathetic, passionate, pretty dynamic, smart. By the way, bold is one that comes to my mind when I think of Kelly. Giving heart. Thank you, Brad. Passionate, dependable, enthusiastic. All right. So you guys played some games. So now I'm going to share some words that I've written down over the years as I've been intentional about brand. And Kelly, we're going to play the game back at me. And then remember, guys, we're doing this to help you so that hopefully everybody comes out of this with your name in the middle and some words around your name that you're going to look at everything you do, the content you create, and go like, am I projecting? So, when I first got serious about a personal brand, I don't remember, it was before the internet, or at least before the internet was a thing. And I hired Hobbs and Herder, $25,000 for a color brochure. Some people have seen a photo shoot, a photo shoot of that with, I had a suit and tie on, I had a gold watch, I had a Mont Blanc pen. And I came up with the value prop that my advice makes a difference, and I was an originator then. And everything I did, how I looked, how I communicated was to project my advice makes a difference. And that's been my brand for my entire career. That's been the North Star that I've executed on as an originator, as a technology innovator. A version of that brochure had innovation. I mean, I've always been attracted to the, no, by the way, part of my attraction to technology was I'm ADD. I'm dyslexic. So like
Yeah.
spell check, I'm on, oh, I can put contact information, reminders, print out a spell
Right.
check free letter.
Yeah.
So innovation has always been something I've executed on. I've you know, I can't remember who was it. It was Hello World. I went to a presentation and they asked you what's your message to the world if you had a put a tattoo on, and it was like always curious, always grateful is something that I've worked hard on. And then positivity. Like you will not see things on social media from
Yeah.
me and most people who know me personally, I just want to project positivity and see the best in everybody. So by the way, guys, what is my brand to you if you watch this? And Kelly, what are words that come to mind when you think of my brand?
So many. And Dave, I know I've said this to you over the years, and I'm just going to say it again. Thank you so much for your leadership. So leadership in the mortgage industry, you are so pivotal to pouring into us, to helping us grow and be better. Like, so leadership for sure. Perseverance. I mean, what you do is not easy. I mentioned to you 15 years ago, you chased me around for 3 years. You're trying to get my loan officer's attention, which isn't always easy, but your purpose, you are purpose led. Your purpose is way bigger than any one conversation. Your purpose is what leads you to thousands of conversations. You embracing technology to do what you're doing here. You're embracing YouTube. You're embracing your personal brand. You're defining trust engine. You're forward thinking, and that excites me. And that's why I like to hang around with you, and I like to learn from you and those that you interview. So it aligns well. And then lastly, I love what you're doing with First Home IQ. I think all that you've done over the years, it comes back to a very core kind of foundational element for you, which is helping people make better decisions and build wealth through real estate. So breaking down the barriers, bringing information at younger age people because they grow into homeowners, but helping them with get the tools that they need. So I appreciate you so much. And I'm sure everybody, you guys like pour it in there. Come on, let's get it in the chat. Y'all know. What is it about Dave why are you here today? Right? We're here because we know he's going to lead some great conversation. And if I was sucking it up right now, trust me, he would get the best out of me because that's what he does.
I love that. And so, coaching comment, everybody, like do this exercise, go to your spouse and ask them, what is my brand to you? Now that might be different than your coworkers and your customers, but
Yeah.
I would just push everybody over the next couple of days, have a personal brand compass, put your name in the middle, put a bunch of words around the outside, know what you're trying to project to the world, and then also hear how you're trying to project it. I do, first of all, I'm super pumped that you called out the purpose, and that was never something that I am very purpose driven. And that was, not like I wanted to create that brand, but I would tell every mortgage professional right now, there's never been a better opportunity. Like, guys, America needs us. Like, there is an affordability crisis in America. There is a financial literacy crisis in America. And when you look at the wealth gap and some of the biggest problems in America, it's the front line of the wealth gap is who owns a home and who rents a home, and who owns a home and is doing it in a sustainable way. They're on a path to financial freedom. Like we really can solve a lot of problems. We can help keep families together. We can help people be on the side of the haves and the have-nots. So I would push every mortgage professional to make a piece of your brand purpose. Like, I am more than a loan officer. I am someone that is a first responder in the financial literacy crisis in America. And the way you can do that is check out First Home IQ. And Kelly, thank you. I heard from Kristen that you guys have been talking and that there's some cool things coming down the pipe from Kelly Zitlow and First Home IQ. I can't wait to hear and see what happens.
It's exciting. And, alignment too. I think when we think about our value to real estate partners, I mean, I don't know the last count, how many real estate agents there are nationwide, but there are a lot. Not everybody's going to be aligned with you, but those that are, you start to go on this journey together, whether it's solving today's problems or discussing personal brand or evolving into what tomorrow is going to look like. But that partnership, that alignment, man, that in itself, and with loan officers, same thing. I mean, I love to learn, and that collaboration and that alignment is been so rewarding for all these years. So I look forward to more of it.
Yeah, no, it's good time. So guys, by the way, if you go to savageinsights.com, the little ask is take the quiz. There's a literally, it's free. It's like 3 minutes for mortgage professionals. It's probably 7 minutes for Gen Zers. Gen Z is averaging about 57%. Mortgage professionals, most of them are getting over 90%. Take the quiz. It's at savageinsights.com. We'll also put a link down below. And that anybody who wants to become an ambassador there's a link at Savage Insights too, to become an ambassador like Kelly and a lot of other purpose-driven mortgage professionals. So, all right, Kelly, anything you think we've left undone on the personal brand piece? Like, any other little workshopy things that we should do that would give people an upgrade to what they have, or a start if they haven't done it? Anything else come to mind?
Well, I think figure out where your barrier is. Start there. So if you need clarity around how to build a personal brand, you guys go to YouTube. Anything you want to learn in life, go to YouTube. I mean, it's just the place to start. That's how that platform is built. That's why I'm on YouTube. YouTube is my preferred platform. Do I do everything else? I do, but everything starts with long form in YouTube, because that's where people go and search when they're searching for answers. And so consider that. But if you need to build a personal brand, there's so much out there. So I'd say spend a little time. This is what I do on Saturday mornings. I know I'm kind of a nerd, but I wake up, I stretch, I have some coffee, and then I just sit down for like an hour. It's my time. And I just expose my mind to things that I don't know or that I want to get better at. So if personal branding is one, check out YouTube, and there's lots of different ways to do that. But also, start to really get curious about AI and what it can do today to save you time. Because if we can work through some of the very manual things that bog us down or bog our processes down, and we can create efficiency through that, then it frees up time to go spread your head and your heart, to go talk to more people, to have more high trust calls, to create more content that will impact the masses. But if you're stuck over here and it can be easily solved with technology or AI, then learn it, embrace it. Don't be afraid of it. Understand it.
Yeah. So that you called out something I think is really important. And the way I have done this is, having this personal brand and these words. And I always do everything in compasses and playbooks, and
Yeah.
that's just how my mind works. And I've got lots of it, but there's a compass. And then I've always looked at YouTube as my home base. When it comes to social media, where am I learning and where am I teaching? And I learn on YouTube. That is the home base of social media for me, and where I feel like when I first got in the YouTube game, I will say when I first got in the YouTube game, there wasn't like, oh, I got this personal brand, and YouTube wasn't a big thing. It was like, oh, it was free, and I could put videos in there and share them at scale. But, somewhere along the lines, I'm like, oh, this is a business strategy, and this is a purpose strategy. Like, if I want to change how people get into debt in America, I need to interview what I think is our biggest asset at Mortgage Coach, which is our customers and all the incredible people like Kelly Zitlow that used our tool to create value for families. So that's my base camp, or that's my, home base. And then I look at other social media posts as like outposts.
Yep.
So Like if you follow me on LinkedIn, which is kind of my number 2 social media tool because I'm selling B2B. I want to lead to leaders of mortgage companies and people. If I was a loan officer, my outpost I'd probably go Instagram because I'm very visual and I like Instagram. But I want everybody who's listening to this, like, have a compass, have a home base, and then have some outposts. And by the way, you don't need to have everything. You don't need to have TikTok, Insta, and Face. But Kelly, wouldn't you say if you want to build a brand and you want to be a modern mortgage professional, you need a brand and some intentionality, you need a home base, and you need at least one outpost, if not 2. Thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, what I do is everything, because YouTube is my preferred platform. I do a lot of long format content, and then we'll take that, we'll edit it, we'll push it out to the other kind of platforms, if you will. But everything starts with YouTube for me. It's what started as my library of just content. And it all started with really just me trying to bring a nugget a week to the real estate community about something that I thought would help them. That's really where it started in 2013. And consistency, is a big piece of this. So designing, when you think about kind of designing that personal brand, first you got to start with your why. Get clear. Why are you doing this? How'd you get in the industry? Why are you still here after 30 years? What drives you? And keep digging and digging and digging until you come up with those words that you truly can connect with. What's your origin story? Tell it. Tell it to yourself in a mirror. Record it. Yeah, it's going to feel really weird. It's going to be uncomfortable, but now's the time to get uncomfortable. Talk through it. And pretty soon, you start to breathe life into it. This is the connection. This is what AI is not going to be able to do. The essence of humanity, the essence of who we are. We got to spend some time on it, though. It's like anything. If we don't, life is just going to go by.
All right. So before we run out of time here, remember, audience, if you have questions, I'll get some in. Paul did share a link to Kelly's interview with Stephen Valentine. And by the way, Kelly, I would love if you're game for you to introduce him to me, and then for you and I to interview him together
Sure.
for the Mortgage Coach channel. Is that something you'd be game for?
Of course, absolutely. He'd love to do it.
So yeah, connect us, but do it as though, you and I are going to interview him on our channel together.
Yeah.
Okay, so stay tuned on that, guys. It's going to be rad. So I want to give a couple actionable strategies that people could literally go to market with, and I want to do it around your advice makes a difference. So now, my opinion right now, if you're a mortgage coach, and Denise Donahue talks about wealth stories, and you've created some pretty cool, what I'd call wealth stories on YouTube with Mortgage Coach as a tool. I think right now and I'm not going to say them in any order. I want to get your opinion, but I think one, you should have a video where you're showing realtors how you can help buyers understand their options. And I think first-time home buyers are going to be hit the hardest by this NAR settlement. And it's going to be more important than ever that you're showing them rent versus own and the net worth benefits of owning, because not only are confused about what they're going to pay for, they need to be more clear than ever.
Yeah.
Owning versus renting is the way to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one is, I think that a lot of people, as rates start coming down, are like, hey, should I refi? Should I wait? And it's a great opportunity for you to go, you know what? If a loan officer's not showing you, like, here's how you could turn a refi into, 10x a refi. What if you took the savings and reinvested? Like, there should be something that's like a public service message to your database and your community to help people around those. What's your take on, feel free to add something to what I just said, or put them in order of priority for anyone who's listening.
Yeah. So I'd say 1 and 3 are what I'm focused on. Today, I have built out the Mortgage Coach options that you referenced in your Tom Ferry video. I am going to shoot a video that's kind of just going to be what I'll call evergreen. It'll be an evergreen mortgage coach that I can share with the real estate community. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to shoot content for my YouTube channel and reference it and just start to get the public service announcement out to real estate agents about, hey guys, this is solvable. And here's some ways that we can solve it. Give us a call. Let's walk through the particulars
Will
on
you
your
share that with the community when you do that?
100%. And you guys just follow me. I have 2 YouTube
Yeah.
channels. Everything I do is on there. So the first one is Mortgage How Do I? It is a consumer facing YouTube channel. So that is education, empowerment, how to break down barriers to home ownership. The second one and the oldest one is Kelly on YouTube. And that was created for loan officers and for real estate agents. And it's more industry specific types of strategies. And then lastly, I want to just wrap up. I know we're running out of time, Dave, but
No, we're not.
the
No, I know we are.
refinance-
We are.
Here we are. Okay, guys, we've been waiting for this refinancing, right? It's next month. It's next month. It's 6 months. It's a year. It's 2 years later. We think we're getting close. What are you doing today to be ready? And here's what I know. The biggest servicers in the country have been purchasing at a premium loans from your independent mortgage bankers that you work for, that we work for. They have been building these refinance task force. They are going to be on top of it, and they are pushing the button before you can even get out of bed. We, right now, and again, go to my YouTube channels, the content's out there. I'm going to do more of this. We owe it to our past clients to have them reach out to us, because I guarantee you the servicer's calling them before you do. Doesn't matter how good we are. Their systems they've spent millions and millions of dollars to get ready for this. They are ready. They are pushing the button. However, what they aren't necessarily doing, which you alluded to, Dave, is looking at the whole picture. And looking at the whole picture is what we do. So we have to educate our databases, and we have to educate the country. If you're going to refinance, here are the top 3 to 5 things that if your lender isn't talking to you about, stop, pause, and call me. Call us. We all know it's not just, the servicer saying, we're going to drop your rate. Hey, that's great. I can save you some money. But man, there are other things going on in people's lives. Credit card debt is rising. Great, you save them $400 on their mortgage payment, but if they're paying $2,000 a month on minimum credit card payment, they have the equity there to be able to do something with it. If we don't have this conversation, we are not doing our job.
Yeah, no, that was a topic at the first session with Jeremy Forcier was, how to have a client for life conversation, both at the point of sale and throughout the life. And here's the deal, guys. If 20% of your pipeline is not refis, you're not a client for life loan officer. There's never been more debt in America. There's never been more equity in America. So not only are rate and term refis coming down the pipe, but there's a lot of debt consol opportunities. There's a lot of families that could take all their equity out and then actually move up and lower their monthly payment and achieve financial freedom faster through both the wealth accumulation and the debt reduction. So guys, don't be a loan officer, be a data-driven mortgage advisor, and then have a brand, create content. Kelly and I both, we're YouTubers, so we think YouTube is the way to create that, and then have outposts where you're giving smaller content, but you're driving them into your base camp. Kelly, closing thoughts, anything you want to wrap up on?
Today's the day. It's a new day. Take actionable items, lean into AI, and learn the systems.
Kelly, awesome hour together. I'm always grateful for you. Everyone watching this, if you have not followed our YouTube channel, make sure you follow it. But also, if you have not followed Kelly Zitlow, she gave you 2 YouTube channels. We will put links down below to both of those. But guys, you can Google Kelly Zitlow, follow her on all channels, push positive energy her way. Keep an eye on all the awesome content she's coming out, and then be inspired by that. Use that content to then, within your personal brand, within your unique market, be a better version of you. So thank you, Kelly. Super grateful for you.
Thank you so much, Dave. And thanks to the Mortgage Coach community. I love you guys.
All right. Take care, everybody. This is a wrap. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, we like those hearts too. So feel free to share the love, and remember savageinsights.com. There are links there as well as a mobile club that you can sign up for. Check it out. Take care.